They really should have picked a better title for this movie. Scream 2022 stars Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette. 25 years after the original series of murders in Woodsboro, a new Ghostface emerges and Sidney Prescott must return to uncover the truth. Now, I am a massive fan of the original Scream movie. It's really worked my way up into my favorite movies of all time. I binged the entire series just this past week, and I do really enjoy this franchise even though not all the movies are perfect. So going into this movie, I was obviously very excited. And what a fun time this movie was. This is easily the best Scream movie since the original. This is the first Scream movie, to me at least, that feels very visceral and bloody and gory. It's pretty brutal. Within the first 10 minutes of the movie, we see bones snapping and the camera is just completely on it. There's obviously lots of blood, as you would assume of someone getting killed, but this is a Scream movie that felt most intense to me, especially within the kill scenes. And of course, you can't have a Scream movie without it being so incredibly meta. I mean, this one is so meta to the point where it's almost a problem with the movie, but we'll get to that. But you obviously got to talk about the cast. It is so awesome to see all the returning faces as well as the new faces. Melissa Barrera, off of In the Heights fame, is our new lead in this movie, and she really is a powerhouse. She fills in the shoes of Sidney Prescott, or the new main character, very nicely. Jack Quaid as well is pretty good, but Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, they are all superb once again. They don't overshadow the movie, they give time for our new characters to shine. David Arquette is actually really solid in this movie. I have to say I wasn't the biggest fan of him as an actor, especially in the prior Scream movies. He never really sold me. I love the character of Dewey, but David Arquette never really worked for me. In this movie though, for whatever reason, it seemed like it worked for him this time around. It didn't necessarily feel like he was reading stuff off of a piece of paper. He actually was delivering his lines. That's just how I felt with him in the prior Scream movies, but in this movie he worked for me, so that's good. But if I'm being honest, I would have loved to see a little bit more of their characters, specifically Neve Campbell, who doesn't really join in the movie until almost the middle of the second act. I get that they didn't want to overshadow the movie and they wanted to give the new characters more time to shine. I think that's great. But when you have them like doing all the money shots and they're on the poster, you think that they're like the main characters and these new characters are just side characters. I was hoping for a little bit more, but I get why they weren't necessarily in the movie for the entire runtime. But with all our characters, everyone is at each other's throats trying to figure out who is doing all this, and that's something we haven't really seen before between our leads in a Scream movie, and that's something I really enjoyed. In the prior Scream movies, no one really assumed that their friends were the Ghostface killer, but in this movie, like people who are friends, even boyfriend and girlfriend, they can't really trust one another, and they're just going head to head. The movie is very funny as well, and that's definitely due to the fact of it being so meta. It pokes fun at Rian Johnson in The Last Jedi, plus toxic fandom. They reference Get Out, and the Babadook actually is heavily referenced in this movie. It's actually one of our main characters' like favorite movies. These characters know their stuff. Randy in the original Scream was a total movie buff, and they carry that kind of movie buff character into this movie, which just makes it even more fun for people like me who love watching people talk about movies and love to talk about movies as well. So just seeing that on a screen inside of a movie, being so self-aware, that obviously clicked with me. But like I mentioned earlier, it is meta to a fault almost. It is so meta, like so meta, to the point where it's like, okay, we get what you're doing, that's funny, and it just like totally goes like crazy, especially in the third act. It's just like, okay, we get it, you can stop now. But that's just for me personally. It just got on my nerves just a little bit. It was really funny, but then they kind of stretched it out just a little bit too much. But the one thing I want to give major props to is everyone behind this movie, the writers, the directors, they seem like they clearly know how to revitalize a franchise. But they also make sure to respectfully and carefully work off of what Wes Craven created just 25 years ago. This movie was dedicated to Wes Craven himself, and it seems like he would have loved this movie, and I'm so glad that that's the case. Without getting into spoilers at all, I do want to talk about the third act just a little bit. No spoilers at all, I'm going to be very vague. The third act is crazy, and I didn't love the reveal at first of who the killers are, but after thinking about it a little bit more, I kind of dug it and how everything unfolds from there. It sets up more Scream movies, and I think I like where they're gonna go. If I'm on the same page that they're going, I think it could be something pretty special, but we'll have to see. The reveal was not mind-blowing at all. It will never top the original twist from the 1997 movie, but I was like, okay, I can see it. But all in all, Scream blends the old and the new incredibly well, We see new faces, we see old faces, everything just mixes so well. It's absolutely self-aware once again, which is very good because this entire franchise is built off of being self-aware. It's funny, and it's got movie buff jokes. What can you not like about that? And I'm so glad that this was not another trashy January movie release. I'm gonna give Scream 2022 a B+. Nothing will ever top that original Scream movie, but this one doesn't try to top the original Scream movie. It just wants you to have a good time in the world of Woodsboro once again. Thank you so much for watching this review, and if you did enjoy it, consider giving it a like as well as subscribing and hitting that notification bell to get notified whenever new videos like this go live. Look forward to more videos coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.